Good morning and welcome to the Big House recap for Tuesday, which was not quite completed. The wind last night was so severe that we had 3 different power outages. And I think wisely, the Oklahoma Secondary Schools Activities Association decided that this would be best to come back and play the game today at 3 o'clock. So it's going to resume after the end of the morning session of the Class B boys, where we will take up with Quentin on top of Cyril 5-4. A 3-point shot went in as the lights went out. The scoreboard never came back on light in the arena, instead of having multiple disruptions the way that we did in the previous game, which was an excellent game. I think they made the wide choice to come back and play a little bit later on when they can finish the game without interruption. People were criticizing the Big House. It had nothing to do with the lights inside. It was more of the electricity coming from the outside. There was a power outage in that area of North May. So today should be a little bit better day weather-wise. Didn't anticipate a weather delay this year at the Big House. Let's get started with a recap of the Class A boys yesterday. The Okarche boys have been the best team in Class A all season long, coming in undefeated, and they got off to a great start again yesterday, utilizing their press, forcing turnovers, getting good shots, and putting up a ton of shots. For example, if you look at the turnovers combined with the offensive rebounds and the number of extra possessions created by all of the havoc that Okarche does create, they had forced 31 Texoma turnovers and 25 offensive rebounds in that game. So that's 56 different extra possessions. Jet Muggenberg was just awesome. He finished with he was 14 of 27 from the field with 32 points. Easton Roby had 24, and Hunter Muggenberg had 17. So just some quick math there gets you up to 73 for those 3 guys. They went at 87-63. I thought Texoma hung around in the first half. They got into the double bonus with 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter when the game was still around a 15-point margin. But Okarche was able to extend that and then kind of take off the brakes a little bit in the second half. They had a big lead at half, 55-32. So Okarche on second, and they were faced Rattan. So the morning session really wasn't very competitive. The Rattan Rams had a very good shooting game yesterday, and these two teams are very familiar with each other. They've met in each of the last 2 state tournaments. Rattan knocked Okarche off in 2023. Okarche came back and beat them last season on their way to the state championship. So Rattan was really good. As I mentioned, they were 10 of 25 from 3, which you certainly accept that. They were 9 of 11 from the free throw line, and their 2-point shots were outstanding. They were also led by a dynamic trio in that game. Canyon James had 24, James Childers had 19, and Kobe Taylor had 18. It's been a while since Sterling had been to the state tournament, and they just could not keep up with Rattan, who got out to that early lead, 25-9 at the end of the first quarter. Then Sterling came around a little bit in the second quarter. In the third quarter, Rattan came out and put it away. So we'll see a really good game, I think, between Okarche and Rattan, and see if the Rams can handle that pressure. The next game of the afternoon, Summit against OK. Summit's first ever state championship appearance. This game got close in the third quarter. It went back and forth, and OK was able to emerge victorious in spite of not having its best 3-point shooting effort of the season, 27%. They were only 5 of 17 from downtown. Diesel Davis, who can really heat it up, he was only 1 of 6 from behind the arc. Chase Clark did a great job scoring 21 points in the game. He had 7 rebounds and was really, really good. So that combination of players, plus just the overall experience of OK, was able to push past Summit Christian. The Eagles did not also have a very good shooting night. They connected on only 4 3-pointers from downtown and shot 33% overall from the field. So OK, again, no stranger to advancing here in the state tournament, moves on to the semifinals. In the final game of the day, this is the best game of the boys bracket at Caddo and Cyril. This game had lead changes late in the fourth quarter, and even under 10 seconds to go. Cyril got a great look after a steal and a chance to potentially lay it up to go ahead, but they couldn't get it done. Great performances by Nash Harmon and Noah Martin for Cyril. They led the way for the Pirates in scoring. Braden Tyson was outstanding for Caddo. He had 16 points and 13 rebounds in that game. And great day for Colby Johnson, the Caddo head coach, who advanced not only 1 but 2 teams on the semifinals. So that's an incredible task that he's done, and he's brought these teams to state the last few years and had a championship on the boys' side and runner-up on the girls' side but has to prepare for two different opponents, one on the boys' side and one on the girls' side. So congratulations to Caddo. They hit a couple free throws after a late foul, and they won 50-47. Now on to the girls' division in Class A, which really, looking at it, we've got a tournament, I think, that is shaped up to be a really good one. Canute yesterday, a young team from Canute that played great defense and all around handled the basketball from their four positions on the perimeter, and a dominant defensive performance from Kendall Schuster, who really had ceiling off of their game. It took some adjustments in the second half, playing some high-low post action against the zone to be able to advance ceiling. And it was Tegan Hamer in the fourth quarter hitting a couple of long-distance threes that were the difference in this game. So I think if they played 8 quarters, it would have been within 3 or 4 points either way. But Tegan Hamer just stepped out a little bit past the range where the zone was used to checking her and hit a couple of big shots. So she had 17 in the game. Kirsten Briggs had 9 and hit 4 free throws late in the contest that were huge for ceiling. But you got to watch out for this Canute team. I think they're going to be back over the next couple of years. They've got some young reinforcements coming, and they acquitted themselves incredibly well, losing to the 3-time defending state champs 40-35. Second girls game of the day, I was impressed with the Allen team. I was really impressed with Cherish Woodward. She had 19 points. She's a junior. She'll be back for more, but she was active on the defensive end of the floor and really good on offense. She went out of the game with 2 fouls in the first half for a brief stretch, and that is when Caddo really took advantage of that to move on. She was in a scoring early on with Caden Prince, the junior Caddo, who led all scorers yesterday with 25 points on the girls' side, and she was phenomenal, just a sophomore. A couple of underclassmen really shined in this game. You look at Prince, you look at J.C. Nichols and Jordan Nichols, the outstanding sisters there. They were good. Each had 8 points in the game. Harley Taylor, a sophomore, came off the bench and played some extensive minutes with 7. So this Caddo team and Ceiling are going to go back at it. They met in the finals in 2023, and looks to be a good ball game this time around. Not as much depth for either of these teams as we've seen maybe in the past. So look forward for that one being a pretty good game. This one I thought was the game, to me, that was the best, really, on the girls' side of things. Okarche and Amber Pocasset. Brett Taha, who gave birth on Sunday and was there in the arena yesterday coaching, and another sensational game with a player that stepped up, and another sophomore that stepped up to do some big things in this contest at the end. Midway through the third quarter, Amber Pocasset had built an 11-point lead, and I turned to Shane Wagner and I said, hey, I think this AMPO team may be the most complete team all the way around and have a good chance to win the Class A state tournament. Wouldn't be a surprise to anybody because it came in with a record of 25-1. Brett Taha calls a timeout. They put the ball in the hands of Katie Parham. She hits a 3, hits another 3 that gets them back within scoring range there, down 6. And then it just went on from that point. Great performance by Parham, not only scoring but passing the basketball. She had 21. Harper White did a good job on some rolls early in the game to get to layups. She had 11, and then 10 for Callie Kramer. Most of those came in the first half when Okarche needed those points. And Avery Schieber hit some free throws down the stretch to have 7. So that was a good effort from an Okarche team that was ranked 20th. Got to the state tournament after playing a tough schedule and had lost a game to Amber Pocasset early in the season on a buzzer beater. So Ainsley McComas for Amber Pocasset played her last game. She had 16 points. She fouled out in the fourth quarter when Amber Pocasset was trying to get some fouls. But this game was much closer than the final score indicated at 50-42. Okarche stepped up and knocked their free throws down late to seal the victory. So Okarche moves on to the semifinals, and they will be determined. We leave the game at 5-4. It was a low-scoring first quarter between Cyril and Quentin. A lot of defense being played out there. I expect this game to continue to be low-scoring and have no idea how to project the outcome of this one. So one of those two teams who have each been to the state tournament the last 3 years in a row will move on and play in the semifinals. So really good day early on of Class A girls. Class B boys is going to start up in an hour. So it's right back at it at the Big House. We've got a really good doubleheader beginning with Calumet and Duke. We'll see if the Tigers of Duke can challenge Calumet, who had such a great performance in the area final against Frontier. Then it'll be Braggs and Dover. Dover at the state tournament for the first time since 2003. Braggs eliminating Dover a year ago in the area tournament. Then Wilson of Henrietta, 1:30 this afternoon against Hammond. That's the end of the day for the boys session. And Deer Creek Lamont in the state tournament for the first time since 1978 against a Stewart team that really likes to trap and press and will get up and down the floor. That should be a good contest too. B girls division tonight. Look forward to some outstanding contests. So it's a little extra at the Big House today. We got 9 games, or at least you could say 8 3/4, as we'll resume the Class A girls between Clinton and Searle coming up. So it's really the busiest weekend of basketball for the entire season. We have this action today, and then we will go to all of the area tournaments for the bigger schools, and then they'll be at the Big House next Monday when the Class 5A girls tip things off in the morning at 9 o'clock at the Big House. So looking forward to a lot more action today, and we will see you again here soon with another state tournament recap on Skordle.